The Top Fuel Racing League is on the air. Live from the Valley of the Sun, it's the DNC Valley of the Sun 175. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. What's sure to be a barn burner. I've been watching the hot laps, and holy cow, are these guys getting after it. Before we get into qualifying, though, I would like to remind everybody that tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by PZ Overlays. Paul Zoda providing some of the most beautiful overlays in all of iRacing. For more information on how you can get your own, you can find Paul Zoda on his Facebook page. That's Paul Zoda, PZ Overlays. And, of course, we have to give mention to our good friends over at pH Aware. Pulmonary hypertension is one of the most difficult to diagnose terminal illnesses on the planet due to the fact that it masks itself as so many other terminal illnesses. For more information on how you can get pH Aware, we ask that you go to phaware.global. And on a more personal note tonight and a more serious note, we do have to give mention to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. If you know somebody who normally isn't acting right, and what I mean by that is if you've known somebody for a while and something seems off about your friend, urge them to make that call. Make a call to them yourself. If something doesn't seem right, call your friend. Let them know that you care about them. I personally was in a rather dark place the other day, and if it hadn't been for some good friends, I probably wouldn't be here right now, folks. So, make the call. Call your friend, even if it's just to say hi. It may seem trivial to you, but they're going to be glad you called. Excuse me. Back to the task at hand. We are at the Valley of the Sun, PIR, Phoenix International Raceway. I don't care what everybody else wants to call it today, tomorrow, yesterday. It's always going to be PIR. Qualifying underway right now, and if the hot lap session is any indication of what we have to look forward to, the top 11 were separated by less than a tenth of a second. Currently sitting atop the leaderboard, Mr. Damon Martinez. He's joined with his teammate, Mr. Sage Karam. And Sean Scott sitting third quick. So SKM holding down the top three spots. Defending series champion Scott Brinson currently sitting fourth quick. 2 1/1000ths of a second away from Sean Scott right now. Between Sage Karam and Damon Martinez, Martinez has the edge by 3 1/1000ths of a second. Currently watching Tony Bizzarro right now. Tony not normally with the league a lot. Driving the Lowe's number 6 tonight. Currently sitting 15th quick, coming around for his final flyer. And across the line for no improvement on his time, Captain Will Kirk actually does go quicker on his second lap. Chris Walker still to take time. Sounds like somebody's burning fuel on pit road. As Chris Walker now sets off on his and loops it coming off pit road. Cold tires. So Chris gonna just barely make it by the safer barrier there. Kevin O'Brien setting off now in the Red Bull Honda. The little rugger from down under looking to crank one off right now. Jake Champion setting off on his lap. Garrett Maines. And lovely, my computer decides to lock up on me. How fun are we going to have tonight, folks? As we're watching Kevin O'Brien. Someone remind me in 2 weeks when we go to Belle Isle to ask Kevin which part of Australia he is from, as Garrett Maines goes 14th quick on his outlap. And there you see our current top 10. And Maines is going to slot in 7th quick. O'Brien goes 17th quick. Jake Champion out on track right now as his car finally renders for me. 20th quick on his first lap. Kyle Stridechar is the only one who's not turned a time yet. As Champion comes around for his final flyer. And not going to improve on his first lap. So we are going to ask that everyone please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. As our very good friend, Mr. Terry Adams, U.S. Army retired, brings us tonight's national anthem. Thanks, Terry, for that. As cars starting to grid up now, we're just moments away from turning this one loose. Do need to thank our good friends over at AZ Direct for all your computer needs at a reasonable price. If you're in the greater Phoenix Metroplex, you'd be well informed to go to AZ Direct for all your computer needs. Don't forget Clarkson Digital Marketing. And, of course, the ALS Association of Greater Alabama. Just waiting for the last few stragglers to get on board here tonight. This is the Top Fuel Racing Series Indy League, DNC, Valley of the Sun 175. Just waiting for our front row to grid up. There's Damon. There's Sage. We have all 20 cars, so let's go through the quick starting grid. Starting up on the pole is going to be Damon Martinez. He's joined with his teammate Sage Karam. Sitting outside row number 1, Sean Scott and Mr. Scotty Brinson. Row 2 is going to go to Jeff Hollingsworth, row 3 is going to go to Chris Samard and Jeff Hollingsworth. Garrett Maines and Michael Jeans make up row number 4. Row 5 going to Chris Walker and Mark Walker. Karen Bergelli and Keith Mayato make up row 6. Row 7 is going to see Kyle Streichers and Paul Crumry. Sam Cooper Bennett and Tyler Vickery rolling off in row 8. Row 9, Ernie Ludwig and Kevin O'Brien. Row 10, Will Kirk and Jake Champion and Tony Pizarro starting shotgun on the field. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. The only thing that's left is Grandpa Papa Viagra. It's time to get it on in the Valley of the Sun. As Martinez pulls the trigger, and we are live from Phoenix. And Sage Karam dirt tracking through turn 1, and oh, my Lanta, we've got a caution already. What the hell just happened? Garrett Maines involved in that one, I saw. So let's see what happened with Garrett there. Everybody just cold tires, overcooking it. He gets into the 23 of Chris Walker. Kevin O'Brien catching a piece of that one. Sam Cooper Bennett catching a piece of that one. So keep your eye on Karam in the black car on the outside. He gets sideways, and everybody behind him starts scrambling to try to not kill him. Sam Cooper Bennett threading the needle, actually, getting through there. Brugelli catching a piece of it. Maines catching a piece of it. Tyler Vickery, unfortunately, catching a piece of it. Let's take a look at what happened with Vickery. I think Vickery's just pitting to get a new fire suit, because that's one of those incidents that'll definitely change the flavor of your fire suit if you're not careful. So Chris Walker getting door banged by Garrett Maines, unfortunately. Jake Champion looks like he may have caught a piece of it. As we are under caution, no laps complete. Well, no laps under green anyways. Cold tires hauling it off into turn number 1. Let's take a quick look at tonight's weather. Very cool temperatures for the Valley of the Sun. Unseasonably cold here in Phoenix. 70 degrees ambient air temperature, 70 degrees track temperature at the start of the event. As the field forming up 2x2 lights are out on the pace car. And again, iRacing, if you're listening, can we please have the truck on pavement? Martinez going to have the button when we go back to Greenfield, working his way through the 3-4 complex. And Scotty Brinson getting the blinkies early. Get them out of your system now, Scott. You got a long way to go. Pace car is in. Martinez has control of the field, pulls the trigger coming off of 4. Green. And we are back underway. Sage Karam getting a good jump. Sean Scott getting a good jump. Scotty Brinson gets away clean.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Ah, crap. What happened to Tony Pizarro? There's Tony on the outside in the Tide Lowe's number 6. Looks like, yep, cold tires caught him again, and oh! That's a scary moment. Coming back up across the track, nosing it into the safer barrier, rips the front wing completely off that Lowe's number 6. And we are back under caution with no laps complete under green. However, we do have a new leader. Sage Karam was able to get by David Martinez. Let's take a quick look at the pass for the lead there. Watch Karam in the black car as he powers by on the high side. Caution comes out there. So, I should have stayed in bed. Tyler Vickery taking it back down pit road. Chris Walker, Jake Champion, and Tony Pizarro all taking it back down pit side. Kieran Berdelli and Garrett Maines going pit side as well. So I have to give a big shout out to everybody who's watching right now in the streams. How you doing? I see Tenny checking in on YouTube with us. There's a handful of you over on Facebook. Joe Morganti, welcome back. If you would like, sir, you are more than welcome to join me in the booth for this one. I would be more than happy to have you up here with me, sir. So, Christian White, how you doing? As lights go out on the pace car again. And if you're playing the at-home drinking game and you don't die of alcohol poisoning tonight, you win. And for those of you who are new to the stream, if you don't know what the at-home drinking game is, every time a caution comes out, you take a shot. The record was, I believe, Milwaukee, where we did 22. Let's not break the record tonight. As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, I'm sure all these guys are wanting to just get some laps in. Jeepers. I want to get some laps in. And Karen pulls the trigger and we are back underway. As it's a freight train down the dog leg in the backstretch into turn 1 or 3. Karam holds control, and closest battle on track right now is with Paul Crumry and crew. As Sam Cooper Bennett washes up the track and looks like he may have suspension damage. Oh, crap. And what's going on there? Garrett Maines noses it into the pit wall. What happened to Garrett? Oh, my Lanta. That looked like hardware failure. He went in way early, way deep, and just nosed it into the inside pit wall. That's never good. So, caution number 3 comes out. Garrett Maines looks like possible hardware failure for the Fanatec number 12. Garrett's been on a hot streak as of late. This may hamper his chances for a 4th straight podium. As we send our pit reporter Peter Gozenia down to Maine's pit to find out what happened. Pete, you got Garrett?
Yeah, Garrett, this is Pete Gozenia.
What happened?
I think I just had a seizure. No, my screen froze and it literally never unfroze all the way down the straightaway until about 5 seconds after it hit the wall. So I just heard it. That's all I got.
Well,
Audio.
Well, that kind of sucks. So we're going to let you get back to it. Tony, back up to you. Thanks, Pete. We'll be checking in with you later. So it was hardware failure for Garrett Maines. Again, going to be a tough one, a tough go from here on out to get his 4th straight podium in a row. 1, 2, and finished 2nd last week. Sage Karam back in control of the field. Damon Martinez sitting 2nd. Sean Scott, Jeff Hollingsworth, Chris Simard, Michael Jeans, Mark Walker, Keith Mayato, Paul Crumry, and Kieran Bergelli. Rounding out your top 10. So, Bergelli already moving up from his 15th starting spot. As the lights go back out on the pace car, Karam going to have control of the field again. Please, can we get some green flag laps in? Please? Sorry, did I say that out loud? Anyways. Field working its way through the closed dogleg tonight. So you saw those cones. Those are the no-go area through the dogleg on the backstretch here at Phoenix. Not an open dogleg like you would normally see. And I was not live. Thank you. Sage Karam gets a great jump as Hollingsworth side by side with Sean Scott. Scott keeps it pinned on the inside. Hollingsworth's going to have to slot into 4th. And wondering where Scott Brinson is. He went pit side under that last caution. So look for him to start making some moves. As Mark Walker gets by Kieran Bergelli. Bergelli had a good run going, or good jump going. And it's Keith Mayato going to the inside, or looking to the inside of Chris Simard. From the looks of it, track position going to be at a premium tonight. So, something to be mindful of. Pit strategy is going to play a huge factor in this one. As Walker all over the rear wing of Paul Crumry right now. If they haul it off into turn number 3, Walker's got to pinch it down. Crumry able to keep it wound up on that high side. And here comes Brinson. Making a charge back through the field. Already picked off a couple spots. Got by Kevin O'Brien. And Scotty Brinson showing why he has that number 1 on that car as he gets back into the blinkies as he hauls it off into turn number 3. Meanwhile, up in front, Sage Karam is just flat checked out. Almost a full second to the good over his teammate, Damon Martinez, right now. And I got to think they're going to be getting into lap traffic relatively soon here. And the rest of the field looks like it's strung out. As Streichers looks to the inside of Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien fighting back on the high side, gets up into the marbles, has to lift. That's going to let Will Kirk get a run at him, too. So O'Brien given plenty of room early as we're working lap 21. Only a handful of laps under caution, or under green, though. 8 of them, to be exact. So far, decent green flag run going here. And Tony Bizzarro working on the back bumper, back bumper. Tail. Oh, there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Brakes, son, brakes. Hit the brakes. Holy crap. And Kevin O'Brien just unfortunately misjudged the turn. Dove it in. Bizzarro was way up. Wow. Kevin O'Brien becomes a piñata, misjudged it, and let's watch that again. You see Kirk in front of Bizzarro. Pizarro backs off early to stay off of Kirk. O'Brien dives it in, and that looked like netcode. Let's take a closer view here. Let's see if this camera angle gives us any better shot. We're following along with Kevin O'Brien right now. Yeah, that didn't show us much. Let's see what the chopper picked up. So that's Pizarro in the low 6 behind Will Kirk in the orange and white car. O'Brien is in the Red Bull, red, white, and blue. Yeah, that was pure netcode. I could have walked my fat, crippled ass between those two cars. So got some takers going down pit road as we had a nice 11-lap run going there. And just a netcode issue taking place. And Tony Pizarro putting it on the hauler. Saying no mas. Welcome to Top Fuel, Tony. Let's reach out to... Who do we want to reach out to? Yeah, you know what? We're just going to let these guys have at it, because I'm not going to... I can't, in good faith, really distract anyone right now, because I know temperatures are probably running very high right now, as we're under caution number 4 on lap 25. So we're just going to let them do the dang thing and see what happens here. As lights go out on the pace car again, let me make sure that I'm live this time. And I am. Because we got these lovely cameras high above the track over here in turn 1. Nice shot of them coming into the dog leg. A lot of sharp looking paint schemes tonight. And I definitely picked the wrong night to stop. Never mind. Wrong movie.
Green, green, green.
Karen pulls the trigger and we're back underway. Martinez gets away clean. Sean Scott with Jeff Hollingsworth all over his rear wing right now. You know Hollingsworth wants to try to... And there it is. What happened to Chris Walker? Keep your eye on the purple car, folks. The purple car on the outside with gold trim. And up into the marbles. And down into the safer barrier. So we're back under caution. You know, as painful as this might be for the drivers, that they want to get some green flag runs in, and I know that they're all anxious to, you know, to race. Look at it from the standpoint of a lowly broadcaster. I have to sit here and think of things to say under caution. Right now, it's clean. Those of you who have seen me in Caution Fest before, you know what's about to happen. And for those of you who don't know what's about to happen, the fun's about to begin. Because I'm going to warn you guys right now, when we get to Caution 10, I'm going to start singing Christmas carols. Fair warning. I know some of the drivers are listening. I know some of the drivers watch the stream while they drive. At Caution 10, I'm going to start singing Christmas carols. So you may want to warn the rest of the field, gentlemen. And they're not going to be PG Christmas carols. And for those of you who have been in team speaks with me before, as I've been a driver and I've had a good run going and started to crack jokes, you know what Christmas carols are coming. And yeah. Anyways, be sure to join us this coming Sunday night as the BOFA Indy Classic Series takes to Long Beach. And for those of you who have never seen the post-apocalyptic landscape that is the test track in iRacing of Long Beach, it's going to be interesting. It kind of looks like somebody may have detonated a geothermonuclear device in downtown Los Angeles. That's the vibe that the whole track gives off. So Sage Karam in control of the field as the lights go out on the pace car, and I'm not live again. Karam gets a good jump as Simard goes to the inside of, that's Bergelli on the high side. He's been making some big moves so far, trying to get up there with the rest of his team. Keith Mayato and Chris Simard fighting it out right now. That's your battle for 6. Simard way off the pace. Scotty Brinson, after pitting, now up into 7th as he's set sail already. And Mayato battles back with Bergelli again. Mayato on the high side. Looks to cross him over through 3 and 4. Gets a run off of 4. Side by side down into turn number 1. Mayato sails it off in there. Has to lift to stay off of Bergelli. Bergelli keeps his foot in it on the high side and maintains position. And that's just let Scotty Brinson reel these guys in. So Mayato and Bergelli currently battling for 5th. Scotty Brinson right there. Chris Simard right there. Captain Will Kirk right there. Throw a blanket over the rest of your top 10. Meanwhile, back up at the front, guess who has checked out again? If you guessed Sage Karam, you guessed right. Almost a full second to the good for the driver of the Wix number 22. And you saw his teammate Damon Martinez there in the background. That's the type of lead that Brinson has over Martinez. There's Brinson, there's Martinez, and you saw Sean Scott in the background, who is 1.3 seconds off of Martinez. So the top three are starting to move out right now as Mayato looks to the inside of Bergelli again, bombs it into 3, gets it to stick on the low line. Bergelli able to keep it wound up. Mayato going to scrub off some speed, going to slot back in behind Bergelli. That second lane coming through 3 and 4 is going to play big dividends later on. Mayato with a little bit of arrow push coming through 1 and 2. As they work through the dogleg, Mayato trying to reel in Bergelli again. Goes to the low side. Bergelli able to duck in front of him. Take all the air off of Mayato's front wing. Mayato, you saw him have to lift hard to stay off the wall there. Going to back off a lot. As Sam Cooper Bennett way off the pace. Let's take a look at what happened with Sam. Wow. Going through 1 and 2. I'm sorry, going through 3 and 4. Now coming into 1 and 2. And Sam loses. Oh, my. Narrowed up that car by about 2 feet. Luckily, that did not bring out a caution. Sam was able to get it down, just barely missing. I believe that was your leader, Sage Karam, that flashed by. So able to get way off the racing line. We stay green. Rough one, but good on you, Sam, for keeping us green tonight. Meanwhile, let's go back live. There's Sage Karam hauling it off into turn number 3. 1.9 seconds to the good. There goes Karam, and there was David Martinez in second behind him. Streicher's working on the high side of Crumry. Crumry able to keep position. And Martinez just dropped connection. Martinez connection just took a poo. And Sage Karam getting the blinkies right now. Sean Scott up into second. And Martinez is back. Damn. I hate nights like this. I got to think we've got to start. We got to be getting close to green flag pit stops. Sage Karam currently on lap 50 he hasn't been down pit road yet. So Karam hasn't gone pit side. Martinez has not gone pit side. Scott, Hollingsworth, Mayato have not gone pit side. Bergelli went pit side under the first caution. Chris Samard has not gone pit side yet. Scott Brinson has about 10 laps in the bank to the rest of these guys. As does Michael Jeans has about 20 laps in the bank. As does everyone else from 10th back. So, again, there's Scott Brinson, your defending series champion. Currently sitting in 7th. And looks like he may have stalled out just a little bit. Mayato has finally gotten by Bergelli and checked out. Mayato starting to reel in Jeff Hollingsworth. There's Hollingsworth in the black and white, or red, black, and white, I should say. Currently sitting in 4th. That's Mayato in the Repsol orange, sitting in 5th. This is your closest battle on track, folks. As Karam currently showing the way, 57 laps in the books. And the rest of the field more strung out than a frat boy on a 3-day bender. So your battle for 4th, the only one really on the track right now, is Hollingsworth. Gets it all wrong going through 3. Able to keep it off the wall. That's going to let Mayato slip through. Mayato up into 4th. But he's got a big hill to climb right now, as he is just over a second off of Sean Scott, as Scott takes a pit side, Karam takes a pit side, so green flag pit stops have started, folks. Martinez shows the way right now, finally going pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Mayato, who works the outside of Kyle Streichars, putting him a lap down. Mayato's got to be getting ready to go pit side relatively soon here, I would think. Going to stay out. But that's probably going to hurt him in the long run. And we've lost... Nope, there he is. Sage Karam blinking badly. As Mayato stays out again. Going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Right now, of the drivers that have pit, as Mayato finally takes a pit side, that's going to hand the lead of the race over to Scotty Brinson. As Karam's working the backside of Tyler Vickery, who sits in 5th currently. Now, Vickery is only on lap 40 of his stint, so still has about 15 to 20 laps to go before he needs to take a pit side. Of the cars that have pit, Sage Karam is 2.3 seconds to the good over Keith Mayato. Let's take a look at your leader. That's Scotty Brinson, defending series champion. And right now, Scotty's got to be just about praying for a caution. I know those words normally don't come out of my mouth with good intentions, but with so many cars a lap down right now, you got Sage Karam's a lap down, David Martinez is a lap down, Keith Mayato's a lap down, Sean Scott's a lap down, Jeff Hollingsworth, Kieran Bergelli, Bergelli's 2 laps down, Samard's 2 laps down, O'Brien's 2 laps down, as Samard goes pit side finally. So look for Brinson to go pit side soon. Sometime within the next 5 laps, you're going to see Scotty Brinson going pit side. I believe that was Ernie Ludwig that he just flashed by. As Chris Walker going pit side. Jake Champion having connection issues. Damon Martinez still having connection issues. Brinson goes pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Michael Jeans. As Chris Walker goes pit side as well. So let's take a look at Jeans in the orange 08. That's Sage Karam directly in front of him. So that actually puts Karam back on the lead lap. As Michael Jeans only working lap 47 of his current stint. And this is where things get interesting. You've got cars on cold tires, you got cars on warm tires, you got cars on whooped tires. And that strange dichotomy can lead to trouble if these drivers aren't careful. So Jeans currently showing the way. That's Chris Samard looking to get his lap back the hard way. And that's Captain Will Kirk in front of, and there's Jeans going pit side finally. That actually hands the lead of the race over to the driver of the Navy number 24. That is Tyler Vickery. And it's Vickery right now just riding behind Kyle Streichers. This is not one of those tracks where you can really, kind of just cruise it. You've really got to be up on the wheel the entire way around this tricky 1 mile in the Valley of the Sun here at Phoenix, Arizona. So going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. So look for Vickery, Crumry, Champion all to come in within the next 10 laps. Garrett Maines has another 5 laps in the bank on top of that, as does Mark Walker, who currently that rounds out your top 5. Sage Karam is back on the lead lap. Dan Martinez back on the lead. No, Dan Martinez is not back on the lead lap. So Karam, of the cars that pitted early, the first round of green flags, Sage Karam the only one to get his lap back so far. And there goes Vickery into pit, and there goes Martinez getting his lap back. That hands the lead of the race as Paul Crumry comes down pit side. That hands the lead of the race over to Garrett Maines, who we saw just completely tear the front end of that car off early on. And there's Mark Walker, who does the same. He completely tore that car up earlier. So they're running 1 and 2 right now. Look for them to come pit side sometime within the next 10 laps. So that has put Karam back on the lead lap. Martinez, Mayato, and Scott back on the Sean Scott back on the lead lap. Jeff Hollingsworth first car a lap down in 7th. So only 6 cars on the lead lap as Maines finally takes a pit side, handing the lead of the race over to Mark Walker. Crumry finally coming out of the pits. And there goes Walker into pit. And there goes Sage Karam to take the lead back over. So Sage Karam, 5.6 seconds to the good over his teammate, Damon Martinez. Keith Mayato sits in third. Sean Scott in fourth. Mark Walker dropping like a stone right now. Jeff Hollingsworth actually in fifth. Karen Brigelli up to sixth. And if we thought the field was strung out earlier, holy cow, you ain't seen nothing yet. The nearest battle on the track right now is between Michael Jeans and Karen Brigelli, as Jeans has the fresher tires. Brigelli has a little bit less fuel by roughly 12 laps. So it's a battle of tires over fuel load. And as I like to call it, old age and treachery versus youth and exuberance right here. As Brigelli, one of the young gunners in the league, Michael Jeans, one of the old guard, as Jeans looks to the way inside, bombs it into three, and there's contact.
Flag is out.
Oh, Christmas. Let's watch that one again. Here they are coming out of four. As they get behind the lap car of Mark Walker into turn three, and just looks like it was just a hip check. And that is one of the most terrifying things that your spotter can say to you in this sim. You're the meat. And unfortunately, Karen Brigelli just got chewed up. Let's take a look at what the chopper picked up on that one. Oh, come on. Why are you doing this to me? So there's Brigelli in the 98. That's Michael Jeans right behind him. Brigelli has to check up for Walker. And Walker didn't give a lot of room, didn't realize he was three wide until it was too late. And unfortunately, Karen Brigelli coming out on the losing end of that whole exchange. So as we go back live, a lot of cars looking to take the wave around. Sage Karam has control of the field. It's Captain Will Kirk right behind him. So a lot of drivers, as we reach the halfway point, looking to get some pit service. Will Kirk finally taking it pit side for his second stop. That's going to put Martinez right there with his teammate. And we are going to reach out to we're not going to reach out to anybody. We're going to just follow this along here.
Hang on, we're not going green.
All right, so race control waving that one off. And it looks like Brigelli has put it on the hauler. No, he hasn't. That's connection issues. I am sorry about that one. So giving the wave arounds time to actually get around. We are now 2 to go. We're going to be pace car lights are going to go off on the pace car when we get back to the start finish line. Take a quick look at your top 10 as The top 12 are now back on the lead lap. Chris Walker, the first car, 1 lap down. So Sage Karam showing the way. Damon Martinez, Keith Mayato, Sean Scott, Jeff Hollingsworth, Michael Jeans, Captain Will Kirk, Tyler Vickery, Garrett Maines, and your defending series champion, Mr. Scotty Brinson, rounding out your top 10. Green flag stops really shook things up a little bit. Hopefully, we can have a nice long run like we just did, as we just went 60... No, we didn't. ...43 laps under that last caution, or under that last green flag run. So nice long run there in the bank. As lights go out on the pace car again, Karam going to have control of the field again. Karam has led 63 laps tonight, and showing why we call him our resident alien. And for those of you new to the Top Fuel broadcast, yes, that is the same Sage Karam that actually did run in the real world Indy 500 for the last few years, and was a part of the closest Indy Lights finish in Speedway history. As the pace car makes that hard left turn onto pit road, Karam has the button and holds him down. Finally pulls the trigger when he can get it pointed straight. Gets a good jump with his teammate Damon Martinez as Sean Scott and Keith Mayato haul it off into turn 1 side by side. Mayato with the advantage, the preferred line on the inside, and it's a mad scramble behind him. That's Michael Jeans, Jeff Hollingsworth, and Captain Will Kirk all slugging it out for the number 5 spot. Meanwhile, Mayato has gotten clear of Sean Scott. He's now trying to reel in Damon Martinez. Mayato is always quick on these shorter tracks, and I'm thinking it has a lot to do with the stock car experience he has here. As Michael Jeans looks to the inside of Sean Scott now. Scott able to keep it wound up. That's going to let Hollingsworth get to the inside of Jeans. Jeans had to check up to stay off of Scott. And Hollingsworth is going to take a shot at the rookie now, as Michael Jeans has to worry about Captain Will Kirk right behind him. That's Kirk to the inside of Jeans. Jeans gives him plenty of room, knows there's a ton of racing left to do. Keeps his foot in it on the high side, keeping it wound up. And then crosses Kirk over as they go into turn number 1. Still side by side. This battle for 6 looks like a battle for the lead, if you ask me. Hollingsworth still working on Sean Scott right now. The rest of the field just trying to turn some laps, get some running in. As we're working lap 95 of 175. This is the Top Fuel Racing Series Indy League DNC Valley of the Sun 175. As Sam Cooper Bennett taking it pit side again. It looks like a lot of front end damage on the 101. So it's another rough night for my normal broadcast partner. And I'm looking for something relatively close on this track right now, as that's Paul Crumry and Kieran Brigelli trying to make some hay in lap traffic. Brigelli is still a lap down. He's working with Scott Brinson, and that's Paul Crumry there.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there it is. Who is it? Who is it? I don't see who it is. I'm not seeing who it is. No, 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 and no. Okay. So what's the reason for the yellow? because I don't see what's going on. So let's take a look and see what the blimp picked up. Well, it wasn't that battle because we were already watching that battle. Which means it was somewhere else. Where the hell was it? I don't see where it was, folks. Hollingsworth has a little bit of a crinkle in his wing on the front, but other than that, I'm not seeing where it was. Sam Cooper Bennett looks like he's parking it right now. So, Samard? We'll see what we can come up with here, because I'm not seeing it. And I don't know why. And I'm being told from race control it's because there was two rattlesnakes, a scorpion, and a vinegaroon fighting on the front stretch. And for those of you not from the greater Phoenix Metroplex and you have no idea what a vinegaroon is, it kind of resembles a scorpion, sort of, kind of. But if it bites you, the only thing, it doesn't give you poison, but all you can taste for the next 24 to 48 hours is vinegar. So they suck. Lights are out on the pace car again. Sage Karam going to have control of the field. It's led 76 of these laps. Damon Martinez, Keith Mayato, Sean Scott right there, Will Kirk, Jeff Hollingsworth, Michael Jeans, Tyler Vickery, Garrett Maines, Scott Brinson rounding out your top 10 as pace car makes the hard left turn. Karam has control of the field, finally picks up the trigger, and we are back underway. Excuse me.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Son of a bitch. What happened to Scott Brinson? Keep your eye on the black number 1. As you see him there on the outside of Garrett Maines. Just gets it sideways, and his teammate finishes him off. Jake Champion gets punted. Well, crap. I hope y'all folks like Christmas carols. And I hope y'all have an open mind, because it's about to get less than PG-13 in here. Actually, more, I guess, would be more appropriate. I told you. 10th caution, I'm going to start singing Dirty Christmas carols. As Karen Brugelli gets back on the lead lap with the wave around. So that is going to put 14 cars on the lead lap. And we are going to check in with our leader of the race right now, the gentleman who continues to stink up the show week in and week out, Mr. Sage Karam, our resident alien. Sage, tell me up the booth you got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
79 laps so far you have led. You want to leave some on the table for the rest of the kids?
Not really.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So how is the car feeling as the tires start to lose all of their goodness?
I mean, tires are definitely an issue. You lose the fronts pretty aggressively, but overall, you know, I've been out in clean air, so it's been pretty good for me. Had to, you know, I had to get my lap back there, you know, off strategy a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. I know a lot of guys just pitted behind us, so you know, I think we're gonna try and make it one more stop, and then I don't think they can make it. So hopefully that's how that'll play out, and we can just hold on to the win here. I had a really good pit stop, gained like 6 seconds over, you know, the field. So it's really hard on cold tires, so you really got to work the car. As you know, I'm sure you guys saw the start of the race. I just completely lost it on cold tires up high there, and I don't know how I saved that thing. Didn't get hit, kept it off the wall, but somehow, you know, didn't have to use a fast repair, and really thankful for that.
Yeah, but the fecal defecation hit the rotary oscillator, if you follow my drift, behind you when that happened.
Oh yeah, for sure, my butthole puckered up.
Well, Sage, we're going to let you get back to it as we see the lights go out on the pace car. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we're talking to you in about 70 laps.
Yeah, thanks.
So, tire wear in traffic going to become a factor here as the race wears on. Going to be interesting to see what type of pit strategy these guys are able to have happen. As the lights are out on the pace car, Karam, Martinez, Scott, Mayato, Kirk, Hollingsworth, Jeans, Vickery, Walker, and Garrett Maines rounding out your top 10. Scotty Brinson able to come back in 11th as there were some takers down pit side that time. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Karam right there with the pace car. Finally backs it off a little bit as the pace car makes that hard left turn. Karam holds him down a little bit. Rolls into the trigger and brings his two teammates with him as Karam, Martinez, and Scott got the jump on Keith Mayato. Mayato, though, all over the back wing of Sean Scott right now. Mayato on the high side with the preferred line, keeping his foot in it, keeping it wound up, pulls side by side, noses out in front coming out of turn number 4. Will Kirk forces Scott up to the high side. Kirk going through on the low side. Scott able to keep it wound up. Kirk had to back off. That's going to bring him into the clutches of Jeff Hollingsworth. This is your battle for 5th as Hollingsworth throws it to the low side on Kirk. Kirk able to keep it wound up this time on the high side. And all that's doing is letting the cars in front of him really just start to walk away. Crumright gets up into the marbles going through 3 and 4. That's going to let, that's Kieran Bergelli on his inside. So Crumright now the last car on the lead lap. That's Chris Samard right behind them. As Bergelli now tries to work his way back through the field. He was running top 5 earlier and then just got caught up in a dumpster fire. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Hollingsworth and Kirk going at it. Hollingsworth with a run. Kirk looks like he may have lost some time as he had to back off of Sean Scott to stay off of him. So this is your battle for 5th. That's Captain Will Kirk in the number 9, Jeff Hollingsworth in the 97. Let's get that out of there. So roughly a 13-lap difference between the tires on these guys as Hollingsworth bombs it into 3. Gets it to stick. Kirk going to drop in behind him, try to cross him over. And Hollingsworth starts to put a little distance. He's able to go into the corners just ever so slightly deeper than Will Kirk. Meanwhile, we're going to check in for the battle for 10th, as that's Jake Champion working on Garrett Maines right now. Maines looks like he may have gotten by Champion just previous to this, as now Mark Walker starting to reel in Champion. And Scotty Brinson all over the rear wing of Tyler Vickery right now. Vickery, you might remember a couple weeks ago at the season finale for the Top Fuel Racing Indy Lights Series, as Champion gets it all wrong. Coming off a 2. What happened there? Did he have help? Here he is coming down the front straightaway. Let's take a look. Caught the apron and tried to save it. Almost collected Kieran Begelli for a second time. That would have been a rough one for Kieran. So we are back under caution. Like I was saying, Tyler Vickery a couple weeks ago at the, actually almost 5 weeks ago now, at the Indy Lights season finale at the Brickyard, got his first win with Top Fuel Racing. So good run for Tyler. And everybody going pit side this time except for Kieran Begelli. Begelli going to try to lead a lap here, it looks like. Get that bonus point. As we are going to watch the pit stop of our resident alien. Car's up on the jacks. Down and away for Damon Martinez. Mayato coming out in third off pit road, coming out in number 4 slot. And Sean Scott rounding out your top 5. So there's Begelli staying out. Chris Simard being denied the wave around because of that. A wave around here would put Simard back on the lead lap. It would put Kevin O'Brien back on the lead lap, and it would put Ernie Ludwig back on the lead lap. O'Brien and Ludwig just taking it down pit side now. So Simard probably not the happiest of campers right now. That would give him one of his 2 laps back if he were able to get the wave around here. And he's dropping low as we are 2 to go. So probably not the greatest thing to happen. And I have no idea what's going on right now. Anyways, lights are getting ready to go out on the pace car. As I'm just checking in with the chats real quick. How you guys doing tonight? Field working its way into the 3-4 complex. Let me make sure I'm live. And I am. So Bergelli going to have control of the field, taking the high line, and he's got his teammates all around him.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag comes out. Bergelli pulls the trigger, and Keith Mayato asleep at the switch. That lets Damon Martinez through into third. Mayato in fourth, Will Kirk in fifth, and Sean Scott under attack right now. As Mayato goes to the high side on Martinez. Thinks about it. Martinez really doesn't give him a hole there. Mayato working the high side through 3 and 4, able to keep it wound up. Gonna cross him over, coming down the front straightaway. This is your battle for third. As Sage Karam gets by Bergelli, and Mayato has to back it out to stay off of Martinez. As I've known Keith for a while now, and he's not the type of driver that's going to purposely hip check anybody. And Bergelli is falling back into the clutches of his teammate now, and that is what 20-lap difference on the tires looks like. Bergelli struggling right now, as he has already worn all of the goodie off those Firestone Firehawks. Oh, almost gets into it, and there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Well then, as I was saying, Bergelli had already worn all of the goodie off of those Firestone Firehawks, and you see him make a move there and almost hit Mayato, and Bergelli had to back out a little early to make the corner. Unfortunately, I don't think Mayato realized. A good driving job by Kevin O'Brien, by the way, to avoid that. I don't think Mayato realized just how old Bergelli's tires were, as he just flat ran him over. And now I would like to give you a selection from my favorite music composer of all time, Mr. John Valby. I stick my finger up my rumpa-pum-pum, and then massage my prostate with my thumb. Makes me piss my pants and turns my nuts numb. And up my anal hole you'll find bubble gum. Wanna chew some fresh from my bum? Anyways, yeah. Caution 10, folks. Christmas carols are coming out. So we are back live. Take a quick look at our top 10. Sage Karam showing the way. Damon Martinez, Captain Will Kirk having a good run going. Sean Scott sits in fourth. Tyler Vickery in fifth. Jeff Hollingsworth holding down the number 6 slot. Garrett Maines in 7th, battling back from some early problems, was a lap, actually 2 laps down at one point. So sitting 7th right now. Still has a chance to keep the streak alive. Garrett, you might remember, has podiumed the past 3 weeks with 2 wins. Michael Jeans sits in 8th. Scotty Brinson, your defending series champion, in 9th. And Paul Crumry rounding out your top 10. So, working lap 132 of 175. Just ever so slightly within the window of you can make it from here. The lights go out on the pace car. Karam going to have the button again as we go back to green. Damon Martinez sitting in 2nd. Will Kirk in 3rd. Sean Scott in 4th. Tyler Vickery 5th. Jeff Hollingsworth, Garrett Maines, and Michael Jeans. The field working its way through the 3-4 complex again. Karam going to have the button as the pace car makes that hard left turn onto pit road. Karam holds him down a little bit this time. Gets it onto the front straightaway before he pulls the trigger. As Will Kirk and Sean Scott go side by side for 3rd. Garrett Maines makes it 3 wide. And gets it to stick, and here comes Scotty Brinson going with him. Brinson on the inside of Vickery making a big move right now. Here comes Jake Champion as well, trying to follow those guys through. That's Crumry Mayato right behind him. So Vickery's sitting in 9th. Under heavy attack right now. As Crumry goes to the inside of Mayato. Meanwhile, back up in front, Hollingsworth trying to work on... That's Sean Scott, the 66, right in front of him. That's Hollingsworth in the Haas Automation number 97. Still working him. Trying to see what can make Jeff or Sean Scott lose his composure right now. Hollingsworth hungry to move it forward. As Michael Jeans and Scott Brinson have caught Garrett Maines. Maines struggling with some dirty air in front of him. Michael Jeans all over the rear wing of that car right now. And Mark Walker has gone pit side. And there goes Jeans to the inside of Maines. Through 1 and 2. Maines able to keep it wound up on the high side. Michael Jeans has to back off. That lets Scotty Brinson get a run on him going in at turn number 3. Brinson wisely letting off. Knows there's still a ton of racing left in this one. Working lap 142 of 175. Jean's going to try it again down the front chute. Garrett Maines, no quarter asked for, no quarter given as he keeps it wound up on that second line, giving plenty of room. Racing hard, but racing respectively right now. This is your battle for 6th, folks. This isn't even the battle for the win. This is just for 6th. And these guys are running this hard. But they're running clean. And I got to appreciate that from all of these guys right now. Michael Jeans using a little bit of a pull down the front straightaway. Gonna try it again. Not gonna make it stick that time. Goes to the way high side. Arrow pushes a real thing, Michael Jeans. That car just washed up the track without warning. Going through 1 and 2. Jeans has to back off. They'll let Scotty Brinson close in on him. These guys in lockstep right now. It's Tyler Vickery and Jake Champion throwing bombs at each other. That's your battle for 9th. I'm sorry, that's Keith Maiato getting by Vickery. Maiato getting ready to throw his hat in the ring as he is now all over the rear wing of Scott Brinson. So, time for some good news, bad news, folks. You can't make it from here. Or, sorry, you can make it from here. However, nobody on track right now has enough fuel in the tank to pull it off. As Bergelli back out on the track right now, I'm sorry, that was Chris Walker, a lap down, unfortunately having some problems. Michael Jeans looking to the inside of Garrett Maines again. Right there. Jeans has his foot through the floorboard, I can guarantee you. But I can also guarantee you he's trying to figure out how to do it without killing them both. As Maiato looks to the inside of Brinson. Brinson giving plenty of room, but keeping his foot in it on the high side. That second lane, as I said earlier, is going to come into play. As Jeans is starting to flirt with that second line now. As Maines defends the second line. Jeans going to get a run on him down the front straightaway. Dives it to the inside. Going to bomb it into 1, gets it to stick. Maines saw it coming and just let him go. Discretion, the better part of valor, and Garrett Maines just said, yep, it's all yours, bud. So now Michael Jeans sets sail to try to reel in Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth over a second up the road. Scotty Brinson to the inside of Maines now. Brinson gets it to stick, so you got to figure Maines probably used a lot of his tires up trying to hold off Michael Jeans. And Sage Karam with connection issues. Meanwhile, Jeff Hollingsworth still working on Sean Scott. 19 to go. Sage Karam, 2 seconds to the good over his teammate Damon Martinez. Martinez, a second and a half to the good over Will Kirk. Will Kirk, 5.5 seconds over this battle for fourth between Sean Scott and Jeff Hollingsworth. The question is, who's got enough in the tank to be able to make it from here? We're 17 to go. We know with all the cautions they had earlier, they could go 50 laps. They're already 38 laps into this current fuel run. Are we going to see a splash and dash from anyone? As champion working all over the back bump or back wing of Tyler Vickery. Vickery sits in 10th right now. Champion right there within striking distance. And Will Kirk with connection issues. And Michael Jeans has reeled in your battle for fourth. You see Jeans in the orange car there stalking. There's Scott Brinson right there as well. Sean Scott sits in fourth. Hollingsworth in fifth. And Michael Jeans has made up over a second to reel those guys in. $13 laps to go. And Samard goes pit side for a splash and go. You got to wonder who else is going to need it. Hollingsworth to the inside into turn number 1. Runs him up the hill a little bit. And makes it stick. Hollingsworth up into fourth. Here comes Jeans. From Hollingsworth to Will Kirk, from fourth to third, is 6 seconds. That's a big ask for 11 laps. And Garrett Maines is fading. Karam and Martinez go pit side with 10 to go. Make that 9 to go. That hands the lead of the race over to Will Kirk. Does Kirk have did he save enough? He was 5 seconds back. Did he save enough to make it the final 8 laps of this event? Karam and Martinez had to pit. They just went a lap down. They've got to hope everybody in front of them runs out of fuel. And Sean Scott goes pit side. So Kirk now shows the way. Hollingsworth sits in second. Michael Jeans in third.
Yellow.
Oh my Lanta. Damon Martinez spun it. 6 to go. There's Martinez coming out of the pits. Let's take a look back and see if he got tires, and he did. Martinez took tires. So coming out of the pits, cold tires, trying to get up to speed. He's got his foot through the floorboard right now, grabbing gears as quickly as he can. Tries to stay out of the way. Hauls it off into turn number 3. Gets it to stick. Still accelerating. Coming down the front straightaway at 175, 180 miles an hour into turn 1. And catches the apron, cold tires, and around she goes. Locks it down to keep it off the wall. And that brings out the caution. Tyler Vickery, Kyle Streichars, both taking it pit side. Everybody in front of them stayed out. Sage Karam gets the wave around. We are back live. 5 to go currently. We're going to get the green with about 2 or 3 to go. Who saved enough fuel? Can Will Kirk steal this one? We saw Sage Karam basically be dominant the entire event so far. He pit just before the caution came out. He is back on the lead lap. Kyle Streichars is the last car on the lead lap. Damon Martinez, 1 lap down. Sean Scott, 1 lap down. Sage Karam taking it pit side one more time to make sure he's got the freshest shoes he can. Will Kirk is 51 laps into his fuel run on 14 gallons of methanol. Did he save enough under that last green flag run? Did Jeff Hollingsworth, who sits in second, save enough? Michael Jeans was battling very hard to get by some guys. I know Michael probably was not saving at all. Scott Brinson was fighting hard to get by some guys. Guarantee you, Scotty wasn't saving hardly at all. As the lights go out on the pace car, we are going to get the green with 2 to go. Once that green flag comes out, next flag ends the race. Did Will Kirk choose the right pit strategy? We are about to find out. So Kirk, Hollingsworth, Jeans, Brinson, all on 52 laps. Garrett Maines on 52 laps. Paul Crumry on 52 laps. Keith Mayato can make it from here on 43 laps, as can Jake Champion. And around goes Michael Jeans. Around goes Paul Crumry. And around goes Keith Mayato. Will Kirk just won. And Damon Martinez is on his lid. There's the synchronized spinning. And Martinez just get pile driven? Keep your eye on Michael Jeans in the 08. Goes to get on it. 52 laps in. Paul Crumry. There's Damon Martinez. And, oh, man. You hate to see it end that way. And Garrett Maines, 1 spot out of his 4th straight podium. Scott Brinson capturing 3rd. Still have to make it around. There's the checkers. Checkered flag for your winner, Captain Will Kirk. Wow. What else can I say but wow? And we're going to waste no time. We are going to go straight to the man of the hour. Captain Will Kirk stealing one tonight on pit strategy. Congratulations, Cap.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That was a heck of a night.
Did you see what happened behind you at all?
Yeah, I saw in the mirror, and then I had my teammates call it out pretty much immediately. So I didn't think the caution was going to come out because the car that I saw spin went straight to the inside wall. So I thought we were actually going to go, but it just worked out.
There was actually 3, almost 4 cars that spun, and it was the contact between Michael Jeans and Damon Martinez when Martinez went over on his lid that sealed the fate of this one.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but, you know, it kind of stinks to not win one going the whole way green, but, you know, we'll get them however we can get them. And, yeah, the pit strategy, we would have made it on green because I was about 10 laps before everyone started to pit. I put it in 6th gear and was running about 70 throttle all the way around, and I had 7 laps left whenever we got to 5 to go, so I would have got it if we would have stayed green, but I'll take it this way too, I guess.
Well, that was the question that I was asking. You know, did you save enough under that green flag run? Because we know Sage and Damon were just trying to just run it.
Yeah, no, I noticed that, and I stayed with them for about 5 laps. I noticed, like, I was about 1.3, 1.4 behind Damon for about 5-10 laps, and then I knew I wasn't going to get them on speed. I mean, they dominated the night, and Sage has obviously dominated the season, so I said, well, we'll try the pit strategy, and then everyone in my chat room started freaking out about gas, and I looked down, and I was about 2 to the good, and I was like, oh, man, we might be able to pull this off, and then we were still 2 to the good whenever everyone was saying they were losing laps because they were flat-footing it, obviously, but yeah, we would have had it if it would have went green, but, I mean, this is a cool way to get it, too, I guess.
Well, I mean, you've got to be real proud of the entire National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation number 9 crew tonight. Anybody else you want to thank, sir?
Oh, yeah, my team for sure. I mean, they're for me every week, and, I mean, I work nights, so waking up's kind of hard, and my alarm actually didn't go off today, and Scott called me 3 minutes before qual started, so my only 2 laps I got to practice were my 2 qualifying laps, so that's why I started 20th. So, yeah, I mean, Scott's always looking out for me, and, Paul, Sam, Kevin, all those guys, just lots of help every week, and it's just awesome.
Well, you mentioned your teammate, Scott Brinson. We're going to bring him in right now, too, as Rated R Racing puts 2, not 1, but 2 cars on the podium. That's a feat that few other teams have been able to do this season, so congratulations, guys, on being able to pull that feat off.
Yeah, first podium being a win, I can take that, that's for sure.
So
yeah, I think it's awesome. My teammate won the race. Congratulations, Mr. Kirk. It's been a while since we've seen you win.
Yeah,
and you won somewhere other than Pocono, dude. Congratulations.
I know, right? Yeah. Who would have thought Phoenix would have been the place that snapped my losing streak?
Okay, so apparently Will Kirk is a 3-corner ringer.
Apparently, obviously, yeah, I guess. Put me on a 3-corner track and I'll do all right.
Well, again, Scott, congratulations to taking the podium to you. Showing exactly why you are the defending series champion tonight. Didn't have the greatest qualifying run, but you were marching through the field more than once tonight. Got caught up in one early and were able to battle back. Was there any point in the night where you may or may not have had the best of intentions?
All night long, I kept stepping on my junk, so I had a speeding penalty. Got caught speeding on a great entry coming into the pits when I was leading there. That's what put me in the back. And then another incident, or actually it was the same incident coming out of the pits. I hit the gas too hard and spun it around and broke the front wing. I don't know if anybody noticed when I broke my wing on like the parade lap. That was embarrassing. So I got lucky. This was just a lucky finish. Congratulations to my teammate for winning the race. He kicked ass all night, and he deserved it. I just got lucky with where I finished.
Well, again, congratulations to the entirety of Rated R Racing. Badly needed points in the team standings going to you guys tonight with 2 podium finishes. I don't know if you guys saw the entire final melee that took place, but that put Damon Martinez actually on his lid.
Oh man, that's
Actually, yeah,
unfortunate.
we were talking about that. Because I was wondering where they had finished.
Uh,
Been there, man. I know how that feels. So that sucks that happened to Damon. I've been in that spot, and they just got caught out, man. They decided to pit before everybody else, man, and then that caution fell. But I think a lot of us were going to make it, so they were caught out either way.
yeah, that was definitely an interesting finish, to say the least. We are going to reach out to second place finisher now, Mr. Jeff Hollingsworth, joining us in the booth. Jeff, I know it's not the way you wanted it to finish, but you got to be happy with the podium tonight.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I want to say first off, congrats to Will Kirk, man. He
Thanks,
ran
bud.
a hell of a
Appreciate
race.
that.
Really good, and I'm very happy. Got 0 incident. The only thing I'm not happy about is I didn't lead a point, but Keith was coming up behind me so fast before that first pit stop. I just let him go, you know. It was early in the race, but if I would have held off another lap, I didn't know he was going to pit after me. But anyways, it's all good. I had a great time, good race. I liked the setup. I liked how it was loose, how you could drive it with the throttle. It was my kind of deal. So, but congrats to Scotty, and thanks for broadcasting.
Well, let's take a quick look at things. Rated R Racing, 2 cars in the on the podium, but Turn 3 Motorsports. Jeff, you finished second, and your teammate Garrett Maines didn't get his fourth straight podium, but did put the car in 4th. So something you guys got to be kind of proud of there, especially with all the early troubles that most of your teammates had.
Oh yeah, Jake, coming in there and finishing 6th, that was awesome. So he didn't get any practice. He's had a weird work schedule, and he woke up a half hour before the race, no practice, and got in there and still finished 6th. And I don't know, I'm proud of all the guys. I want to say this though, I think Garrett jinxed Michael on that restart, because he says 10-1 we're going to hit the gas and we're all going to wreck and blah blah blah, and sure enough, right when Will decided to go, Michael hit the gas and looped it. But anyways, my whole team did well, and I'm proud of them. And it was a fun race for me. I really like that track. A lot of people hate the track. I like the track. A lot of people hate that setup. I like the setup. So it was a good deal for me.
Well, let's touch base with league owner Mr. Scott Brinson. Scotty, where are we going next week?
The Big M, Michigan. My favorite hood.
I was going to say, arguably my favorite track as well. The house that Penske built next week. Let's start with Will. Your thoughts on going to the house that Penske built next week?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Michigan. I don't really know these cars very well. I can't handle the aero very well, so these short tracks I think are just really hard for me. So me personally, to just have a lot more open room and a lot more open space, just kind of do whatever is going to be a heck of a good time. So I'm looking forward to it. If everyone can keep their nose clean and not dive bomb everybody every lap, then we should have a pretty good, clean race too. Because there's you could probably go 7 wide on that track with these cars and be fine. So
safely you can go 3 the entire way around and not have to really worry too much. Four in an emergency.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think going there, we've never had a bad setup. And actually, just to touch base with what Jeff said this week, because I really like this loose setup. It kind of goes against what we normally do with it being a little bit more tight. So I like the loose stuff a lot better, and I think Michigan will be not loose, but not tight. I think it'll just be comfortable. So it shouldn't be a hard track to drive. So theoretically, we shouldn't have a bunch of cautions. So I think it'll be a good time.
Well, I know that the looseness on cold tires really caught a lot of guys out early going. I believe we didn't get a green flag lap in until lap 15.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Consecutive green flag laps. You're right.
No, we didn't. Not a complete green flag lap. It was turn one on the opening lap, turn 1 on the next restart, and then turn 3 about 10th car on the next restart. So we didn't get a green flag lap in until the 3rd restart.
Yeah, that first one, I guess I kind of started that one, but I went in there and it didn't stick. And Garrett he said he was trying to dodge me and just floored it to spin it around. And he said he went down the apron, but somebody still hit him. But yeah, we had a few mess ups, but man, once we got it going, it was a lot of fun.
So Jeff, talk to us about your thoughts of going to Michigan next week. And it's the old Michigan, not the new Michigan, if I'm correct, right, Scott?
Yeah, old Michigan. That way, don't have to force people to buy the new track if they don't have it yet. I don't even think I have the new Michigan yet, so it'll save everybody having to buy the truck.
You get it for free anyway.
Oh, did it? All right, well,
Yeah.
cool then. I figured they were going to charge you for it like the new Pocono.
Yeah, I think there were way too many people pissed off about that one. But anyways, Jeff, your thoughts are going to the house that Penske built.
My thoughts are, it's going to be. We already have a setup, right, Scott?
It's probably going to be the same one we used in the money race. I haven't tested for it yet. But
so what I'm saying
thing
is,
was
we got a setup, we got the
around.
track in the same car, and I finished second to Sage in that one. So I'm ready for it. I love that track.
All right, and finally we're going to go to Scotty rounding out our podium. Your thoughts on going to that one? I know you had a good run in the money race when we were there before the season started.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, man. Every time we go to Michigan, I'm excited. It's a good chance to get a win. I was looking forward to tonight's race, but came out, like I said, hit the wall on the parade lap and was damaged. I knew it was damaged because Jeff there. Congratulations for finishing second, by the way, before I forget, Jeff.
Thanks, bud. But, yeah, congratulations, dude.
But he was all over me, so I knew I'd damaged the car. So I basically just ran from the back all night long and kind of gave one away. I felt like to have any chance. So I'll be looking forward to next week, definitely. Try to make up for this.
Well, Scott, just
to make up for a podium.
I can't complain too much. I mean, yeah, I got lucky and finished back on the podium and got the points lead back. So it's been a pretty good night. I'm going to have a smile when I go to bed tonight.
Well, Scott, just so you know, for next week's broadcast, I've started a new thing here. Whenever we reach 10 cautions, I'm going to start singing John Volpe Christmas carols. So you may want to warn the drivers about that one.
I apologize for all the cautions tonight. I was telling the guys in the room there, I was feeling for you guys that we were having so many. I heard what you said there where we didn't have a green flag lap, a full one until lap 15. But once we got going there, man, as you saw, it was fun racing. I mean, the passing was limited. But it was still fun. It made you stay focused. Just waiting for that guy in front of you to make that mistake so you could get by him.
Yeah, we saw some good racing, some dicing going on, trying to figure out, where you had to put the car to try to make the pass stick. If you had to do it a little dirty and run the guy up the hill a little bit, or if you could, get it to stick on the inside like we saw a couple guys do, especially on fresher tires. But again, it's going to just about do it for us here tonight. Any final thoughts, Scott?
I just want to thank all the drivers, as always, for coming out and supporting the league. I appreciate all these guys taking the time out of their Wednesday nights every week to come out and support the league. Tony, I want to thank you. I'm not sure if anyone was up here in the booth with you. If they were,
nope.
Thank them as well. No? Okay, well, I appreciate you always being here every Wednesday. And whenever Sam calls the races for us, I appreciate Sam and everything Bof has done for Top Fuel Racing. You guys are awesome. And, of course, I got to thank my buddy Naz at Discount Nutrition. Tonight was a Discount Nutrition race. And Naz has been on board when nobody was coming around, back in 2014 when we couldn't get fields. And he was still, kicking in money and trying to get this thing up and running. So Naz has been here since the very, very, very beginning. So thanks, Naz. I appreciate everything you've done for the league, dude. And thanks to my mom and my girlfriend for always supporting me, and my girlfriend's kids, Hayden and Faith. I love you all very much.
And before we go from tonight, we are going to touch base with it's weird for me to say this, but league owner Sam Cooper Bennett, who is running the BOFA Indy Classic League on Sunday nights. Sam, your thoughts on this coming Sunday's race at the post-apocalyptic Long Beach?
Yeah, it's going to be fun for the race on Sunday. I mean, what more can I say? It's Long Beach. I mean, classic IndyCar racing at Long Beach. I mean, yeah, it looks post-apocalyptic because it's a tag track, but it's still got the soundtrack.
Man, I thought something was wrong with my computer.
No, they didn't put all of the skyline in from downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, thank God! Remember the other night, Scott? I told you. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I updated my video card because man, what is wrong?
I do remember.
And for those of you wondering what we're talking about, you're going to see on Sunday exactly what we're talking about when BOFA Broadcasting brings you the BOFA Indy Classic Series from Long Beach. Drivers have been testing the setup, and so far the feedback's been pretty positive.
Yeah, we've had a couple of drivers that have had a few problems with it, but I suppose once they've turned a few laps and gotten used to the setup, things should be fine. It's going to be a fun race come this Sunday, and Long Beach always throws up a lot of drama during the race, no matter what. So whatever happens on Sunday, we're going to be in for a great race either way.
Well, I'm going to call it right now. Calamity Corner is going to be the fountain turn.
I'm thinking the hairpin at the end.
Yeah, that car has a tight enough steering box that you can get around that hairpin quite easily. But that fountain turn, if you get it wrong, you get it wrong badly. If you get it right, it's such a beautiful feeling. So I'm predicting the fountain turn to be the Calamity Corner this coming weekend. But moving on, Sam, where are you guys tomorrow night?
We are at Richmond tomorrow night with Soma.
So be sure to join Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett and Scotty Brinson tomorrow night, which they bring the Somo Cup Series from Richmond, and then Friday is Go Fast from Richmond.
No, they were at Richmond last week.
Right.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
They were at Vegas last week, so
they're at Richmond this week, and then Saturday.
That was Charlotte. One of them's at Charlotte.
That's Saturday night with the. Actually, no. Go Fast might be at Charlotte.
Yeah, I think Go Fast is at Charlotte.
On the road course, the Roval.
No,
it's the Oval.
Oh, they're running the Oval. Okay, well, Sunday night you get a treat as the Sunday night the Major League Catalyst Mint Major League Esports K&N Series takes on the Charlotte Roval. Now, the only difference between the Roval version in iRacing and the one in real life is there's not a chicane on the front stretch. So from the time you exit the chicane on the back stretch, you're balls out until you get to the flag stand and climb on the binders to try to get that car woed down before you eat the concrete going into turn one. So that's going to be something to see. And Sam Cooper Bennett has not decided yet whether or not he's going to be behind the wheel of a K&N car at that track. It all depends on how much beer we can get sent over to Ireland between now and then.
That car scares me.
That track scares me.
Yeah, I can't even get to grips with that track in an MX-5. How do you think I'm going to handle a K&N car around there?
Quite well. I've seen you in a K&N car. You're a lot better in a K&N car than you are in a Mazda. Excuse me.
Hey, fellers, I had fun. I'm going to go. I'll catch you guys next time.
Again, Jeff, congratulations on the podium tonight. Captain Will Kirk, congratulations on your first win on the season. Scotty Brinson, congratulations on reclaiming the points lead. As we go now to our race results, Captain Will Kirk coming home with the victory. Jeff Hollingsworth hanging on for second. Scotty Brinson in third. Garrett Maines just barely missing out on his fourth straight podium finish of the season, coming home in fourth. Kyle Streichars hanging on for fifth. Jake Champion in sixth. Tyler Vickery had a strong run coming home in seventh. Sage Karam got caught a lap down, having to do a splash and dash there at the end. Finally got the wave around, coming home in eighth. Paul Crumry in ninth. Michael Jeans being scored in 10th after that melee on the final restart. Keith Mayato in 11th. Last car on the lead lap. Sean Scott getting caught a lap down. Kevin O'Brien getting caught 2 laps down in 13th. Ernie Ludwig in 14th. Damon Martinez, unfortunately, was put on his roof on that melee, being 3 laps down at the finish, coming home in 15th. Chris Simard in 16th, Chris Walker 17th, Mark Walker 18th. Karen Bergelli had just a dumpster fire of a night, as did, unfortunately, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, caught up in 2 other people's dumpster fires. And Tony Pizarro rounding out your field in 21st.
And Tony, before we sign off here, I just want to thank Sage Karen for making the setup this week. Sage made this setup. And I appreciate Sage putting up the practice rooms as well. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Sage has definitely helped a lot. with bringing this league forward and into the eyes of a lot more people. So again, thanks Sage for what you've done for the league. Thank you, Scotty, for all you do behind the scenes. Thank you, Sam, for all you do behind the scenes. Thank you, Michael Jeans, for all the help you've given to both this league and the BOFA Classic Indy Series. Just thanks everybody. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that being as the race is in Phoenix, Arizona, for all your computer needs, you do need to check out the awesome folks over at AZ Direct. They do ship worldwide. So for all your online computer needs, definitely check out AZ Direct next time you are in the market for peripherals. For Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, for Mr. Scotty Brinson, congratulations again to Captain Will Kirk on your first win on the season. This is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you tomorrow night from Richmond.
Keep it clean, keep it green.